I'm coming towards the end of this interview, and I want to ask you about this debate about inflation targeting. Currently, the government's mandate and the RBI's mandate is to try and ensure inflation is between 2 and 6%. A big debate rages about whether we need to loosen this in the interest of encouraging growth. Have you formed a view on whether we need to allow for more inflation to ensure faster growth and a faster comeback?
Well, if you look at it, even during the lockdown, when there were severe supply constraints, inflation was kept under control. In the recent couple of weeks, and let's say a month or two, when food prices went up, it's also the seasonal price which is getting influenced because of in between the crop kind of a situation, be it the onions, be it the potato, yes. And during that crisis of the last 2 months, looking at the essential commodities and their requirement, government went in immediately also to import so that markets are not suffering for want of stock and supplies. Today, gradually we find that onion prices are probably coming down, potatoes still got to be coming down. So there are long-term issues as well as immediate issues on which we have to, for easing the supply constraints, work. Cold storages or storages where such perishable commodities can be preserved, and seasonally when there is a shortage to release them. So on the specific issue of inflation, particularly about perishable commodities, there are long and short-term responses which any government should do, and we are trying to do that.
Finally, you took over as finance minister at a time when the economy quarter on quarter was slowing down. That was the big challenge to try and ensure that the economy bounces back. Then, completely as a force of God, you dealt with the pandemic. How has this been for you individually to deal with the country's finances in the middle of the worst pandemic since the Great Depression, and the entire country's expectations in terms of trying to help all of us, because what you do and your officers do impact every single person's life?
Absolutely, and that actually sort of keeps you have your feet on the ground and be closer to the ground.
Are you sleeping easy or are you sleeping stressed?
Do I look stressed?
I'm asking you.
No, I greatly owe it to the people of India for literally giving me the inputs continuously, and there couldn't have been a better support than from the Prime Minister himself. And this is not being a minister in his cabinet, so I'm saying, and I'm not saying something which is not known to the public already. He sat through so many different consultations, took input, met all kinds of sections of society, kept telling us what is it that we can do next. And it has been a rigorous learning experience for all of us, but at the same time, responding experience. How quickly can we? How meaningfully can we? How focused can be our response? So, amazing support from the people and from the Prime Minister.
Well, this has literally been financial baptism by fire. We hope we emerge stronger, because that will really determine the mood all across the country. I thank you for your time, and I wish you all the best. You have a few very busy weeks coming up.
That's right.
With the budget, and everyone will be looking forward to that. So thank you very much, Nirmala Sitharaman ji, for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Rahul.